Look at all the carving when they made this. So neat. Castles are just beautiful. There are two guys. There's Andreas and the guy, the local guy here from Denmark.
Built in the style of the Renaissance. As you know, the Renaissance began in Italy, and it came slowly through Europe, and it came to Denmark via Holland. So we call it the Dutch Renaissance. And these statues are figures from the Greek mythology, part of Renaissance. Why some of them look so new is because there's constant erosion here. They take the whole statue down. There's a sculpture school down in the basement over there. And they make new statues and then set them up again. So these would not be the original. That's how it all works.
I thought these deer horns were kind of neat. They're all around the room. And they're real horns.
Now, the castle, Curtisburg Castle, was built in 1620, and it was built by the builder king that I've been mentioning, Christian before. He had Dutch bricklayers brought in from Holland, as they knew the technique of building with bricks. So it only took approximately 15 years to build this castle. This was the favorite residence of Christian IV. This castle and the Rosenborg that where we were to see the crown jewels yesterday. It was built as a dwelling and a hunting castle. As you can see, the decorations of the deer have antlers, and this is for the hunting castle.
Are they original?
Beg pardon?
Have they been added, or
I don't dare to say if they are the original or not. But originally, there was this sort of decoration. You see, in 1859, a fire took place here at the castle in 1859, and much of it was destroyed. It was the Carlsberg Brewery that has paid to rebuild the castle and to furnish it with furnishings from the 16th, 17th, and 18th century that you will see as we go along.
This is the inside. This is the ceiling of the chapel of Frederiksberg Castle. This is just the ceiling part of it. It's just fantastic. I'll get more pictures of the rest of it later.
Fire.
Still working?
I got it working. I don't need the back.
It's usually only given to the heads of state or to royalty. There's one American that has received this order, and this is Dwight Eisenhower. He, together with Montgomery, were the first two generals in Denmark after World War II. I don't think anyone from Brazil yet.
Kind of like an overall view of the church. Actually, this is the chapel where the royals used to go, but they don't do it anymore. And these are the stained glass windows on either side.
These shields are the shields of the Order of Elephant, which is the highest order that can be bestowed on any person by the royalty in Denmark. And this one is for Dwight Eisenhower, the only American so honored. And this one is for one of the several Englishmen honored, Sir Winston Churchill.
And this is the altar. This is taken from the other end. Made out of ebony wood.
Where the people were worshiping wooden idols. Norway and Sweden. In Sweden, he had heard that there was going to be an uprising against him, and they were going to choose a Swedish nobleman to become the king of Sweden. He then went up to Stockholm, and he invited the clergymen and the noblemen who were planning this deed to a great dinner. While off, he had them taken out one by one and had their heads chopped off. Did your Swedish guide not tell you about the Swedish bloodbath?
No.
The Stockholm bloodbath? No. No? Okay, they usually do.
No, they
There were
didn't.
84 that lost their heads that time. He became rather unpopular in Denmark also. Not because he cut the heads off a couple of Swedes, that doesn't matter to us. But because he went against the nobleman. The nobleman had a great deal of power. He was dethroned, and he was placed in a prison in southern Jutland, where he walked around with his thumb down along this table, and there was a ridge all along the table where he'd walked for over 20 years. It's all from the 17th century. They've been brought in from other manor houses or bought in an auction to be placed here. It's the Carlsberg breweries that have paid to rebuild the castle and to place this furnishings. They bought the furnishings. The Carlsberg has meant everything to us. The museum we're going to visit this afternoon is also part of the Carlsberg that's built this. So you always have a good excuse for drinking a beer here. Of him here, surrounded by 4 of his children. His first wife, Catherine, that died giving birth to a child. His second wife was Ellen Monk, and here you can see her surrounded by 4 of her 11 children. She had 11 children.
Ceiling in this room.
Yes, here the ceiling. The ceiling shows what we saw yesterday when we were on a city tour. It shows the goddess Cyprian has turned her 4 sons into oxen and is plowing out the island of Zealand from Sweden. The paintings show different scenes of Christian life. Here we see the city of the dying chancellor. He was only 11 years old when his father died. Here he had built all these things. He had wars with the Swedes. He tried to find a northwest passage over Canada, and he finally went bankrupt. At one time, we were a very powerful country. We had, on the Gold Coast of Africa, we had colonies. We had the Virgin Islands. We had Tranquebar in India. We had Benin. And then they could see from the different look how it was. And already at that time, there were photographs of pictures, and they knew how to bring it back to its original shape. But the chapel we were in were the original. But that room with the bed in it was not necessarily a bedroom or anything. It's just furnishings as we go through. At the moment, we're in the 17th century, the 1600s, the end of the 1600s. This painting shows a scene. Painting so much. He's put himself up on the balcony.
This is a picture of the history of Copenhagen. Okay. Christian, the Dutch came over.
Children married into the royal families of Europe. His one daughter was Dagmar, who was married to the Tsar Alexander of Russia. And it was their child, Nikolai, who was the last Tsar of Russia, murdered during the revolution. But his mother was a Danish princess. In Russia, she's known as Maria Fyodora or something like that. But it was daughter of Christian IX. Another daughter of this king was Alexandra, who married Edward VII of England. And I'll show you a painting of her a bit further down. In the mapmaker, the book printing, and so on.
This is a small, well, actually a large restaurant out in the, way out in the suburbs of Copenhagen. We've just come from the castle, and we've stopped here and had a beautiful lunch. It was served family style, and yet it was kind of a smorgasbord. We had several kinds of meats and tomatoes and several breads and sauces and whatnot to make our own sandwiches. And then for dessert, the most wonderful apple strudel. It was a wonderful lunch and a wonderful restaurant. The coffee was very good. And so we've had a wonderful, wonderful time and a wonderful, wonderful lunch. I just thought I'd show one more thing. Don't know how easy it will be to say. Look at that. That's a thatched roof. It's about a foot thick, which you can see down at the eaves. And I felt of it, and it's very brittle. I don't know how in the world it works, but it surely does, because there's a lot of thatched roofs here in Denmark. I'm now across the street from the restaurant, and I'm taking a picture of this house just to show that it too has a thatched roof. As you can see, up near the apex of the roof are wooden logs of some kind to hold down the last course, I guess. It's a nice house, a big house. You can't tell from this view, but the important thing is it does have entirely covering it a thatched roof.
I'm at the Art Museum in Copenhagen. This is the Arboretum room. All these living plants and trees and fountains and shrubs and green bushes. Very sweet. Art's nice too, but the room is really pretty. Get ready to leave now. And then we're going to go get on a boat and go over to Norway.
I'm now on top of our ship, the Danish Crown, which is going to take us from Copenhagen to Oslo. It's quite a long voyage, considering it's a ferry boat. We're going to get there this is now about 4:30 in the afternoon, and we get there tomorrow about 9 in the morning. So we fly overnight. And what is it? I'm looking at part of the ship. Now I'm looking out over the skyline of Copenhagen. By the way, that hotel right there is called the Admiral, and it's where Jeannie and I and Eddie and June stayed in Copenhagen when we came back in the middle 80s. Right next to our ship, which is quite a coincidence. And now I'm going to show here's the bridge of the ship. It's actually right in there and through the windows. Way off into the distance is Sweden, and somewhere in front of us, many miles away, is Norway. I'm now looking over the side of our ship, some of the vessels that are also in our little dock here, where the Crown of Norway is also docked. That's a pretty fancy modern sailing ship. But look at these. These are, well, that's another small modern one. And here are some of the older ones. Very pretty and very beautiful sailing ships. I can hardly get all of this one, but it looks very nice. There we go.
Oh, I can't.
Once again, we're right next to the Admiral Hotel. There we are, looking at the Queen's Palace from the deck of a ship. where she stays. But here they have a queen, and she's married to a guy who's the prince. She's definitely the chief mucky muck, the main monarch. And that's her palace, where she lives while in COVID. Right below it is a beautiful fountain that we visited. Let's see how close we can get there. That's pretty. And the Queen's Palace once again.
I wonder if that's her backyard. Still gotta get back there to the city.
That ship's from Nassau, or at least it's registered there.
It's a cruise ship from Nassau.
That generally is the place where it's registered. That doesn't mean it's from
Look
there.
at the front end opens up. Very
Yeah, It's a ferry boat. I'm done.
What happened to that ferry in the summer? Good flow. Going from somewhere around here to Finland. Several years.
Didn't they figure that out? I'm sure that we can't see much about this, but this is the Little Mermaid that we've already taken pictures of from on shore, and now we got her.
Somebody's on there with her.
Now it, oh my goodness, somebody's climbing on her. Oh no, he's not climbing on her, he's just walking away. Here's the lady that took a picture of me waving at her, and now I'm taking a picture of her waving at me. Here's the old fort guarding the harbor. We don't know how old it is or anything about it.
Where we came out.
And then behind it are the big new windmills as an alternate source of power, catching the wind and converting them to electricity, just like it did in Palm Springs in California. Only here it looks like they've only got 8 or 10, as well rather than the hundreds we saw in California. And again, the island. There we are, a little closer to it, to see the old fort and the lighthouse.
We are now coming into Oslo. It's about 8:30 in the morning. Beautiful, beautiful day. It's probably cold outside, but it's just exactly what we kind of thought it was going to be. Little houses, lots of trees, lots of boats, and of course the beautiful water. The boat that we came in on,
Oh, great,
we
June.
sailed overnight on our ship, the Scandinavian Crown. It's very adequate. We had a great time on it.
70% of the city is nature. It's woods and lakes.
It's a beautiful cruise ship, just like a regular boat that we take a 10-day cruise on. We are now in Vigeland Park in Oslo, Norway. A bright, beautiful day it is. This is Gustav Vigeland. He is the man planted every statue in this park and even planted all the flowers here. Here are the flowers.
With human beings. You know what the troll is? Yeah. Henrik Ibsen, our great author, he said, it is the man fighting with trolls in his brain. It's up to you to feel and see my statues. And so we know a
Fighting
bit
with a troll.
about some of these statues, but
Man fighting with a lizard when she is giving in.
we go up to the middle of the bridge and look at
Woman
Sinnataken, the most
fighting with
famous.
These are the fathers playing with the children. These are all the ones that I think Barbara told me to come and take pictures of. So that's what I am doing.
And so, I don't know, he was taken to court, but I don't know the result of that. Embryo, 9 months, 9 months old, and around the children in front.
Where are we going with this one?
The children's first year of life is one of the famous sculptures. Picture of a child in his first year of his life. Some more of the statues. He did all these statues in this whole park. It looks like he's playing with the children, but he's not. He's throwing them away.
Man wants this guy alone, but not
He wants to have children, but he doesn't want the responsibility
He
of
has
them.
not very much contact with his own children, so it might have something to do with that. When we go up to the counter, please come to the counter, we're taking the picture.
These are the flowers that he did, the gardens that he planted. This is in September. It's supposed to be winter time.
They're real. Hi, babe.
Hi.
You
How'd they
enjoying yourself
smell?
today?
Yeah. A gorgeous day.
Linda would really love this park, wouldn't she?
Yeah.
I can smell them here.
You can smell the roses too. It's really pretty. It's a beautiful bed. Everything here is made by Bigelow, the most famous sculptor in all of Norway. This is a story, and it's starting with the babies as they grow up, and then as they develop into adolescence, and then they die, and then they become babies again. So it's just a complete continuous story. So these are the babies getting into the sun. And these are the adolescents as they're growing up. Really, just as they have grown up and have become young people and adults. And these are as they're getting older. And these are the old people. Really pretty size. And here are the pretty flowers again in the gardens that he had made. And I guess we're getting closer to the big statue that he created up here. More gardens, the fountain. Gotten up here now a little bit. And this is just
sticks all the way out. Then 3 men was working on this one from 31 to 42. They were cutting this threatening God in a way. But when they were working on it, Vigeland himself climbed up and cut it down and made babies instead on the top. This is in no books about Vigeland. But my father had a lot to do with this park and he told me. But he's dead, so I couldn't confirm it with him. So I asked, you see the tower over there, that's the Vigeland Museum. I showed you on the way. And I asked the director there, is this true? And she wouldn't answer me. And I asked her once more and she still wouldn't answer me. And when I asked her the third time, she said, yes, it is. But they don't like to think. So then he finished this one, and it's around here, it's 36 sculptures. He was asked about the meaning of this, and he said, that is my religion. And that's the only explanation we have from him. What he's describing around here is, if you go a little bit to this side, in the middle there, you see the old man taking care of his old wife. I think that's so beautiful. It's so caring and nice statue. And around here you see a lot of different situations for people. But remember one thing, when you take pictures here, don't step back. We have accidents every year with people falling here, so please be aware of it.
These are all stories. There's a story behind. There's an old man and babies.
See how
They're part of it. Yeah. Which is an interesting concept. And what year did she say?
Well, this was 31, what you say, 21 to 32?
Well,
11 years.
19. 1921 to 30.
21 to 32. Yes, 19. So I don't know if that was the last one.
Just to see a long way away. That'd be kind of pretty. You're right in the sun. Are you enjoying this?
Yeah, I think this is fantastic.
You think Linda would like it? This is the
Swedes
summer
were King
house of
Oscar
the
II.
king.
And he
Can't
loved
get
all
too
the
much
old
of it,
things,
but
and he used this place a lot.
looks pretty. We are now going into the Viking Ship Museum. This is the or whatever it's called. This ship was built, I can't remember year, but anyway, many hundred years ago. The Viking period was from 750 to 1050, but this ship was built in 758. The name of this ship is the Gokstadseivt. There we go. There we go. It's turn out much better. Okay, this is the first ship. And I come up steps to see if I could get some better pictures. And it's much better. It gives a much better overall picture. This big Viking ship was built in 1758. Ship. And I can get just a little bit of what it says. This is the tomb ship that they found it's in a wreck. To put it back together the way they felt it should have been. So you can kind of get an idea of what it looked like. Just some other stuff in the museum, not too exciting. Maybe I could get, this is a card from the Viking Age. Parts of it moved, so it's just only the rear wheels, I think, moved, so it's only meant to be driven down a straight path. It's the front wheels that do not move. Consequently, it cannot turn, so you can only drive it in a straight path. This is a picture of an old sled back from the Viking Age, all hand carved. Very pretty. I guess they were gone by horses then. Carvings there. There's another one over there. Another one. There's that same funny carving. And then you can see the runners. You get a little bit of an idea of how it was all carved out of beechwood, which is the native, actually beechwood is a native tree to Denmark.
And very many
In the
parts of the world.
Kontiki Museum.
There you have them
And we're
from
looking at this
Egypt,
raft.
and from
sailed
Cyprus,
across.
Israel, Polynesia, Mexico, Peru, and so on. And that's why you don't have to make connection between these groups. Behind you also see a statue of Buddha, and Okay, never mind. This is from actually this ship
The
from
ship is
Africa,
made out of
and they
patents.
should go to America. Because
America.
but the men of war went quite back
69.
because they thought, well, we didn't release the bomb, and the world was at the same. So we decided to do it again.
8 men on
Did
this,
they make it the second
and
time?
they were
Yes, they
crossing
did.
the
And
Atlantic.
then they came to
First
Barbados,
time, the ropes
and
rotted
everyone
and
was
they had to
happy.
stop and have their
And
ropes
I
made
think we
in
can see
India.
that on the film. I hope that's the one you saw. Oh, it's in the very end.
Hayedal was the captain of the ship,
Yes?
He was the,
and he built the ship.
built it and he sailed it
And
and
he sailed it
from
and-
Morocco
for 57 days.
to Barbados to prove it could be done.
For 57 days across the Atlantic.
Tied together with rope.
Looks like it. It's all tied together with rope. That is I'm taking a picture of a picture, but anyway, this is kind of what the whole thing looks like. I'm taking another picture of the description of the raw tube. This is a replica that was put into the museum in 1986. I'm down upstairs in the museum, so I was just thinking just to show you how big this thing is. It's really carry the horses and companions across the Pacific Ocean from Peru to Polynesia. The raft left something in Peru on Cuzco on April 28, 1947, with a crew of 6 men and 3 tons of provisions and water. They landed on Rara Atoll in the Tumato group on August 7th upon a successful voyage of 4,300 miles. The Kon-Tiki expedition proved that the earliest cultured people of South America could have reached the Pacific Islands with the contemporary type of watercraft. I believe this is it. Better way of taking it.
So on rock, he wrote nothing like that. Because all he knew, he didn't know anything when he started with particular. So he went out from Palau and Peru. And
This is taken from
they were
the
very happy for
interior
that
of the
because they
room.
were eating coconuts and everyone was very, very happy. But on the neighbor island, there were some people. On this island were no people. But the neighbor island were some people. They saw them and they came and they brought them. They made them.
These are
Because
from
they
the
were cut
Easter
out
Islands.
in the mountain laying down and then cut loose. Then they took ropes around them and took them up. And then a lot of them started to track. One here, one there, and therefore.
These are called Marcuses from Tiki. Large stone images in human form occur exclusively on the Pacific Islands, directly facing South America, where such monuments were typical of the earliest cultures. This is such a pretty view from across the harbor in Oslo. Star all over. This is such a pretty view from across the harbor in Oslo. Such a gorgeous day. See the boats. See some of the houses and the hotels, some of the buildings. Little boat going. There's a big cruise line. It's kind of like the one we came over on. One more picture of this harbor view. Just wanted to take a picture of this before I forgot where I was, at the Kon-Tiki Museum in Oslo, Norway.
What are you doing? The recorder is on.
Huh?
Are you recording me?
Jeannie, what time is
6 o'clock.
it? 6 o'clock? How come you woke up so early? Well, this is a first. You got up before I did.
Well, I'm not up. I took some pants and I'm going to go back to sleep.
Do you feel bad?
No. It's 6:30 now.
Have you slept the most of the night?
No, it's up. Woke up at 3.
Just woke up once and went to the bathroom.
We are now at the Stockholm, at the Oslo train station, and we're getting ready to take our train up to Flan, which is in the mountains. Trains at a little town, and then continue on from there. People over there, they're getting ready to play cards. I guess I know who they are, don't I? I should think I do. There we go. Dick and Dolores are waving at me, and I'm just about out of battery, so I don't think I'm going to get anything else. But anyway, yeah, this is...
The red light's on.
Yeah, it's working great. This is the inside of the train. We're getting ready to leave in just a few minutes. And
First hotel we come to that we have a right kind of
you can see what Alan is doing. He is getting ready to have the train. He already has the cards out. Dolores is sitting there, and Dick is shuffling already, so we're going to have fun.
Gotta take care of her and her batteries.
That's right, you better. Drummond. I think we're in Drummond. We're on the train, and I'm taking it from the window. It's very pretty. The scenery is getting very mountainous. The trees are green. So far, we haven't come across a whole lot of cold weather, and the sky is nice and blue as usual. This is the scenery taken from the train. We've gone about another hour and a half farther. And it looks like it's a beautiful, beautiful lake. See it. I'm taking this out from the window of the train. Okay. Now, taking it through the window. The scenery. This is about all I'm going to take for a while. Until we get into on the way up to Flan. We'll get there probably in about 4 hours. Here's some pictures of little houses and farms. Bring it a little closer. This is out in the countryside, so you can see how neat everything is. You can see the beautiful scenery behind. Let's bring it in a little bit. Let's see how pretty it looks. There's a barn. Everything's so neat here. The grass is so great. Looky there.
That's what I was trying to bid.
Isn't that pretty?
I'll play her hand for her. That's
As we
yours.
get further and further into the mountains, you can see there's fewer and fewer less trees. We're almost to our destination where we're going to change trains. I mean, there's just nothing to take here. This is the difference in the scenery when we first started out to now. I mean, we were way above the tree line and we're into the snow area, and it's just a completely different scenery. It looks like we're in a different land altogether.
So here we are. We're back.
2 diamonds.
We're in Norway,
2 diamonds.
way up on top of the mountain range, where the snow is still in residence.
Get a picture of the outhouses. See that outhouse over there?
There's a beautiful little...
Over that fence.
Now we're looking at a nice little resort way out there in the mountains. Don't know why any in the world would want to stay out here, but they do.
There, good shot of her.
We're in Open which
I wonder if we have an RFU with that.
there's a difference right here. Look at this. We're almost where we finally arrived in our destination point, and now we're going to wait for another hour until the other train comes in, and then we're going to get on and go to Flam. We're really up here high. And there's our train that we just got off of. Here we are now taking our train trip from Murdal to Flam. This is...
Waterfall, Jeannie, the waterfall.
Oh, there's a waterfall coming down there.
Is that it? Get it? I think I got it. There's a waterfall coming down. We're on our way to Flam now. This is supposed to be one of the most spectacular train rides in all of Norway or even in the world. You just don't know.
There's one of the waterfalls. This is one of the valleys that we're seeing from the heights of the mountains near Mydal as we make our way down through the tunnels and through the hairpin curve. Here's one of the beautiful waterfalls.
This
This is the waterfall all the way down the mountain, cascading into the Flam Valley where we're headed to the little town of Flam. There's a huge lake just above this ledge of mountain that is emptying its waters into the waterfall that we see, and then it forms the Flam River down at the bottom in the valley where we'll be sooner or later, and from there it flows into the Flam Fjord, and from there it flows into the North Sea. Now outside of the train, taking the same waterfall, watching it cascade as it does down the mountain edge, which is beautiful, and then it takes a hard left turn on itself and goes over to the right, which I'll catch in a minute. But here the water comes again, as I said, turning on itself to the left. It's going down into a boiling cauldron and emptying through the living rock down even further below. One last look as it comes down the mountain. A beautiful living waterfall. The water's chasing themselves all the way from the lake, in the highest of the mountains, down to the valley, and through the rivers, and out to the sea. The indisputable, indescribable beauty of the cascading waters. That's where we went. Oh, we go up there.
Over there.
Can you see it up there?
Yeah.
All the way.
Hairpin turns.
Said we go by a road and this train runs.
That must be the road.
That'd be it.
That's right, way up there.
There's the waterfall.
There's that road
Yeah.
21.
The old one is right in front of you.
The tunnel
This
towards
is
the
inside of our
Hill,
train
after which
tunnel.
it crosses the road and the river down in the valley and onto
waiting to take the pictures of all the spectacular scenery. Dick is lost at the moment because his television camera is broken, so he's relying on our movies to do good. Love the trip? There's Alan. He's just standing around waiting for another spectacular view. Hi, Alan. There's another waterfall.
Oh, there's a fountain. There's another one over here.
I wonder what this place looks like in the dead of winter. It must.
We are now in Flam. We have just arrived and we see this pretty little scene right here. I thought I would just take a picture. There's a shadow on the water with the boats. Very, very peaceful. Very, very pretty. And the weather, surprisingly enough, is very, very wonderful. It's cool and crisp. Just the kind that we'd like to have in Texas. Isn't that kind of neat? Look at that. It's just such a pretty setting. It's our hotel that we're staying at, and it's just such a beautiful view. Let's take a picture of it real quick.
And then I will load that on the bus. All right? So both hand luggage and suitcase will go to the bus. We walk here, save, and take the bus.
This is our hotel where we're staying tonight. So pretty, and I just thought I would just take another picture of it. It's the train we came in on, and there's the Lord walking her. It's another picture of our hotel. Maybe this will be a better picture, I don't know. I think up here is the flag of Norway. And this is just where we're staying.
Oh, okay.
And
Come with me, Dick. We gotta get ice.
This is taken out of our balcony, where we're going to stay and have a glass of wine before we go and have dinner. I don't know how good this is going to turn out. It's a pretty view though. I changed the setting on the VCR and I just decided to see if the colors would come out any better. I put it on the dim, maybe with the moon coming out, but I don't think it's going to turn out any better, but we'll see. Just like to get the best colors I can, and sometimes this doesn't look like the ideal time to get them. Dick and Ellen, we're getting ready to get on the boat and go see the fjord.
Have you all delivered your keys?
There's the right here, another boat. These are trolls. This is what Norway is known for. They're little famous little men that go in and out, hang in the forests. And people see they're like little kind of shamrocks, I guess, in Ohio. But these are the famous trolls.
Because it wants me to go in and get the money. I told her, you go, he always makes me get the money.
We're shopping some more. She can't decide what to buy, so she's just kind of trying different things on.
Oh, I hate to do this when I don't have any time. God.
And you still like that one, don't you?
Yeah, I like the before too. Oh, that's too small.
We'll get the medium.
Well, this is extra small. I couldn't find a small.
They're really pretty. See, that's the one I got, and I like that one. We are in a sweater shop. We're getting ready to leave to get on the boat and go look at the fjords.
Here comes the boat.
Okay, and here
right.
come the guys after us again.
Hold the
So what
boat.
else is new? We always need money, don't we? Do we always need money? We do. We need money. Some more of those little houses with the grass growing on the roofs. I wonder how they get it up there, but they do. Yeah. This started sailing now, going out to see the field. Some of the scenery that's off the boat. Some of the little houses. On the riverside of the area. If you're going to the field, go to the field. This is a little town. This is in the water. I'm not sure what the name of it is. What's the name of it?
The town is called Cedarfield.
You sure?
They got a big hall there.
It's really very pretty.
Maybe I can put away.
Turns out good.
Boy, I'm glad we charged Jeannie batteries up.
So am I. So this is what we're looking backward to.
On your way?
Jeannie, I'm taking the picture now.
You are? There's Alan taking a picture.
I'm not taking a picture because I want to, but you won't get in the pose.
Number reduces to almost 60, 70 feet or 60, 70 feet wide. So not very deep, but still cruise ships can navigate the fjord, and that's enough for a cruise ship to come all the way to Gudbrange, where we are now pointing to. So.
Now we're coming to the narrowest part of the fjord, so you can cruise ships cannot get in here because it's actually too small. Too narrow. So I'm looking forward to going through this. There's another little village with houses. Amazing. Plant a garden. And I think if you look around here somewhere, you'll find a waterfall.
Here, so the mountain's coming down, and that's the last bits of snow on the very top, which is still melting from last winter's
I did see a waterfall.
Which will probably not completely melt. New snow will
There
come
it
down
No.
a couple of months or so.
There's the waterfall. There they are. How about that? And then he turns it.
Really? It feels like it's blowing around.
Copy of these.
And there's another waterfall coming out of the mountain.
Big
And that
smile.
looks like two lovers. That is a super.
Get the waterfall?
Yeah. Oh, no, I forgot.
There's a waterfall.
Look at them in there.
Look at that waterfall coming Green.
We're coming to the Narrows here.
Was Viking Mounts about 1,000 years ago. So I was also asked as we still going through this is because the currents are obviously looking at your maps or the maps around on board. This is because the currents are definitely broken. But this was there is a lot of fish. We have obviously salmon.
We are coming to the Narrows here.
Heading back to
Beautiful scene.
the original river. The name of the village will be on the right side.
Hot Cow is the name of the village. These places have no roads. They got some electricity and phone, but no roads coming down. Okay, we're started at Flam. We're going up the fjord. As we go through, instead of going out to sea, we turn and come back down, all the way down through this fjord, down to Gustafsbergen. And that's the tour we're on. We just passed the village. I thought we'd get a shot here of the mountains and the view back down the fjord. And all the way to the top. Wow. Now we're coming to a narrow part up here. The mountains down beyond that.
Far to us, the wonderful view of the Gudvangen Valley. Again, mirroring itself into the
We're coming into where we're going to stop.
There is where we shall meet our bus, our motor coach for the next few days. Once we loaded our luggage right before we left now. But before doing so, if you need to use the restrooms, you can do so once we get ashore. There are restrooms right by pier.
We've gotten off of our boat trip and now we're waiting to get on our bus. And I just saw this Viking ship and thought I'd take a picture of this. Probably the only one I'll see that I can really take a picture of. And over here is a genuine Viking. Or maybe there are two genuine Vikings there. How about that? I think I recognize one for sure. Mickey! Wonderful! Perfect! We're in another sweater shop and I just kind of... It's really interesting to see some of the displays. There's another Viking over there. Kind of cute. There's some more of the trolls. Some more of the troll dolls. All shapes and sizes. Look at that.
possible first, Henny.
Here we are. It's just like we're at the top of the world. Stopped for lunch. And we came out to take pictures in case the weather changed a little bit soon.
How's that?
This is the picture of the hotel where we're having lunch. It's right up here on the top of the hill. Absolutely nothing up here except us in the hotel. It's a little chilly. It's nice. And here comes somebody. Whoops. This is at the bottom of the mountain. And this is all around it. This is another angle. There's a waterfall. It's pretty. Got to take the program thing off. Oh, excuse me. It's okay. I was just taking these little trolls. I think they're cute. And then I saw one over here. And look at that great big one right there. Driving down the valley. To almost sea level. It was just some kind of a drawing you would not believe. It's just beautiful. Everything. The other side of the bus is a big, beautiful lake, and you can see all the mountains. What we found, these are the talk tour sheep right on the top of Vicar Villette Mountain. They're having a good time, too. There's another one. Ah. There you go. This is taken from the top of Vicar Villette. I don't know if I said that right or not, but this is way up high, and we got out of the car, and guess what we found? There we go. That's what we found. This is taken from the top of a mountain. We are getting ready to, trying to just scan this. This is really pretty down here. Yeah, I should put it like that. We can get more. It's a pretty little town down into the valley. Pretty.
But it doesn't have the depth of field that the newer cameras do.
That's a bummer.
If I don't get into that, I'm not going to get all. You just get the top. Ready? picture of us. Again, like you.
He's just kind of minding his own business. He looks like a loner. This is an original Viking church, Catholic church, I guess it is. The oldest one standing. The oldest one standing. This church was originally Catholic, but with the Reform it became Lutheran, so it is now no longer a Catholic church, it's a Lutheran church, and we are in the city of Viking. Started in
Paid for everything himself. No pictures inside, please. Excuse me. The reason why we call it the stake church is because of this. We call this a stake, and we have 16 stakes here, and it holds up the whole building.
It is now about 4:30. We have arrived in our hotel, which is absolutely wonderful. This is the view taken from the balcony, and I just want to take the whole thing before the sun goes down.
We don't have an ice bucket.
Alan, be quiet. Let me finish this. Going down at 6 o'clock, and the chef is going to show us all, get us acquainted with the Norwegian foods, and tell us what we're going to be eating. Looking forward to that. We are now in the restaurant of this wonderful hotel, and the chef is taking us around, telling us what we're eating for the buffet.
So I guess it's a hairy.
Chef Theo, and he is going to explain all this to us.
27. How they eat it in Norway. Here in this pot, cold smoked mackerel on the outside, and the fillets with pepper on, they're warm smoked. Smoked salmon, this one's here, and this here, and the ones in the middle is shark filled with the crayfish mousse.
Oh, wow.
Here's again shark. And then we have here also crab meat and lobster inside, a salmon salad with creme fraiche, marinated salmon, where the marinade is pickle based, so it's not like regular salmon. This one here is regular marinated salmon, it's called Norway gravatlax. And then we have different type of herrings. This one is with sour cream, curry, red wine, red wine. Then we go to the big table. We have
Salmon, more salmon. I think there's a mustard sauce also for it.
this is cured meat. They take a piece of cured meat, sour cream, and a piece of bread again, and they eat it like small sandwich. And they drink aquavit schnapps with it. Corn. Then here we have blue cheese dressing, French dressing, remoulade sauce for the roast beef here.
Do you say what this dark meat is here? Reindeer.
And here in the middle we have cooked pork loin on here. Because the salty air.
This is a picture of our hotel where we stayed, taken from the water. We are now up on our way up to the glacier.
Glacier.
This is a glacier that we're looking at from the bottom of the Birdsdal Glacier, and we are going up by the way of horse and buggy. Quite an experience in the rain. We're on the way to the glacier. We're looking at the beautiful river It's like coming down. I just can't see it very
The
well.
picture's going to be going like this, Alan.
No, the
horse is over there
in the pond.
I don't think it's gonna stop. If I can get that a little bit, it's so pretty. Now you can see how the leaves are beginning to change colors, and it's gonna be beautiful here in a little bit longer. About another week. This is just such a gorgeous ride. Need another one. I hope I don't use all my film on this. I only have 20 minutes. Oh, look at the horses going across the bridge now. Well, there was a horse going across, and I don't know if there's the one going across now or not. It's so pretty. Now, there we are going across. There's a glacier up there and the picture of the waterfall coming in. I am taking a picture of the glacier above it.
This is the Bricksdale Glacier. We've climbed all the way up to the very foot of the glacier. And as you can see, I may too. Here's a guy that's climbing. Actually, I think he's practicing to climb on the glacier itself. You can see the deep red colors. I'm sorry, the deep blue colors. And the water that's coming out of this glacier from the moraine, which is the under part of it that's caved out. As the ice melts, the water runs out and forms the river, which is cascading down through the mountains. We've taken several shots already of the river as it cascades down as waterfalls just prior to this one. And then you look up into the sky and you see all the mountains, and there's another one. Look at that waterfall. There's a glacier up there and it's melting and it's coming down. Of course, the waterfalls will stop when it gets winter. There's literally within 30 or 40 yards of me. I'm taking a panoramic view of the glacier again. Once more, there's our ice climber who's practicing, I'm told. And you can see it's coming right down the pass through the mountains. And as it melts, the water runs, as I said. Let me show you the large size of this glacier, going all the way up and stretching for several miles past where the camera can show. Magnificent power of nature locked in the ice of this glacier, along with rocks and pebbles, and as the water melts, it carries the silt and the rocks and the pebbles down, and that carves new crevasses into the rock, new riverbeds, new streams. Here come, I think, down the path, two Arctic travelers. There's a couple of Arctic travelers.
I don't know what you've been doing.
One bedecked in red and one in plastic. They've made their way to the glacier. It only took a while, but success is its own reward.
This is taken. We are on the way from Leon up to see all the geysers, glaciers, and take another fjords trip up into northern Norway. This is Geiranger Fjord. It's been kind of a very foggy day so far. Now we've come down to the valley area, and we're now at Geiranger Fjord. Very pretty. I'll get a good picture of it. There's a little valley. We are on a boat now going down the Geiranger Fjord. It's supposed to be the most beautiful fjords in all of Fjordsland. So it's kind of an overcast day, so we don't have a whole lot of color. But it really is beautiful. We're taking a 5-minute break from our bridge game, and then we're going to go back and finish. And then I'm just trying to take this. All those are waterfalls that are coming down. All the water must be, I don't know, I can't seem to count them from here.
There are only 5 sisters today. Yeah. Only 5. Oh no, about you want Dolores with you? Dolores, quick, quick, quick. I gotta get you with this.
Do you know how many are there? Yeah, this is our favorite pastime so far. We've been playing a lot of bridge. Now we're still on this boat on the glacier, on the fjord, and Ellen and I just set Dick and Dolores, and now we've switched places, and we are going to finish up our 12th hand.
Isn't it beautiful with all these flowers here? A lot of water still. So I was not there. I'm just, very, very sorry that my boat and the girls and the guys lived in the old days when they were here in charge of taking care of the animals and cattle. So watch out when you get out. There shouldn't be cars, but you never know. So look.
We are now in the village of Oya, which is the population of 88 people. This is an old restored hotel that many royalties have visited.
And it's the northernmost point of our entire trip.
Northernmost point of our whole trip. It's just a beautiful hotel. Can't wait to get inside. Here's another picture of the Union Hotel, the most northern part of Norway that we will have visited. Just a gorgeous hotel. Going to go in and have cake and coffee, and then go back to our hotel in Lyon. This was built in 1891. This is the inside. I just had delicious apple cake. It's all furnished with antiques. Music is furnished free of charge by our bus driver. This is the sun porch. This is the last of our fjord pictures. Very, very last. It's kind of a hazy. We are now on the boat, on the last ferry boat, taking a ride across, and before too much longer we're going to be at the salmon farm. We have now arrived at the salmon farms outside of Bergen. We'll have to learn more about this as we go on. These salmon are 2 years old. They are raised in fresh water for 1 year and then are transferred to this feeding area where they are kept for another year and then strictly fed. And then they will be transferred out to the slaughter. They each have shots before to protect so that the meat will be good. And I'm just taking pictures. I'm just seeing if we can ever get one that they're just kind of jumping around. It's very interesting. They have a diet that they feed them on, and for 1 week before they ship them out, they never, 1 week before they leave here, they are not allowed to eat anything because their flesh gets real, real soft when they're eating. So they want to harden it up, I guess, before they send them to the slaughterhouse. I am trying to get some of them coming up and splashing, but I can't use up too much film.
Just kind of wait and see and hope one of them comes up.
There's one.
There we go.
This is the area right behind the farm area. The contrast is beautiful. These fish are about 5 pounds, and they are all 2 years old. What do you think about this?
I wish I had a line and a pole.
So do I. This is an automatic fish feeder, and this is pushed down into the water, and then the fish come to the top and eat. And it's a herring meal and different kinds of things mixed together to make sure that the fish are nice and healthy.
The problem we are facing right now, that is the most impeachable offense, if in fact there is to be an impeachment, and I don't know that there will healthy, but I'm sure there will be hearings on it.
Congressman Norman, you spoke about the moral impact of this and that it was really about lying in life. I'm going to quote you from a terrific article by
Can I put my music back
in
on?
this week's issue of the New Yorker. He begins with, "It's not about sex, it's about lying." Alfred Regnery, the conservative book publisher, said on this program, The Larry King Live. And Hertzberg says, "It is about sex. And the kind of sex it's about, consensual, adulterous, furtive, and illicit, is by its nature incompatible with candor. To have sex of this kind is ipso facto to deceive. Don't you have to help me?"
Now Jones game.
Performances.
Oh, some really good music, isn't it?
Keep going, you'll get it.
Hi.
I think I can't be married to you.
Penalty is comes from Meltdown.
Or you do tell it.
Don't close it. What are you going to close it for?
I'm not gonna close it.
I don't think you can get it out any farther. I'll leave the music on. See, that's... Wait, just a minute. Wait a minute.
What does business class mean?
Nothing.
Last night, we're coming for cocktails.
That's great.
Well, thank you for bringing your glasses. I got you
I'm
some
glad
ice
you-
and you brought some too. How nice.
You know what?
Go get the
I
alcohol.
don't know what he's
I
doing.
have to bring the alcohol
Tomorrow night.
for Jeannie.
Well, we're gonna kill our last bit of whiskey in about 2 minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah, we don't have that.
ours.
That's your last?
Yep. Dick
Well,
was
all right,
hoping-
we're
Dick
down.
was hoping that we have a little bit to take on the
So
airplane.
is everybody down to nothing?
We'll
What
have
are we gonna
enough
do
for us
tomorrow
except
night?
tomorrow night, and that's it.
That's it.
Here we are in Bergen. It's about 9:15 in the morning, and we are taking our city tour with our guide, and we're now across the bay, and I'm taking the pictures of the old houses that are very, very popular here in Bergen. Very beautiful. These are the old houses that Bergen is so famous for. Right on the. We are now at the fish market. We're going through the kiosks, and now we found a fox where they're selling silver fox and black fox and gray fox and all kinds of stuff. So we thought we'd just stop and see what else it. We're now at the fish market. I'm going to take a real quick panorama thing of some of these. We have stone crabs, and they have all kinds of wonderful crabs. Oh, if we could only take some of this stuff home with us. Do they have the sauce for the gravlax?
Yes, sauce,
Oh, we need to take the gravlax. Another picture of Bergen. I think we're taking it from across the water. It's very, very pretty. Very nice. We're standing on the corner just after having fish cakes and decided to take the picture of this nice view. Really, a picture of the church.
Looks like a copper roof or something on it.
Mm-hmm.